Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Buko Boys are back.
From our holidays.
Yeah, we were gone for a while.
And now we're back, and it was a good time, had by all.
And I'm Dale.
I'm Derek DVO.
And we're the Buko Boys.
Also known as the Otten Brothers. Famous
brothers.
Alright, well, we had a fun holiday. I know I had a fun holiday.
There's a lot of things going on this holiday season. Lots of crazy events happening.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm single now.
Oh, Dale's single.
Yeah.
Follow his social media post, you might have caught that.
Yeah, crazy stuff happening in my life, but got through that just fine.
Good. Nice.
Yeah, lots of unexpected events that were pretty life-changing, so... But everything's going to be better. Everything's going to be good.
That's right. Good. Well, that's good.
So,
you have a good New Year? Any big goals for the New Year?
Yeah, New Year was... I didn't even do nothing for New Year's Eve because I don't really care to, and I went fishing on New Year's Day, so... I went to bed early. I was in bed before midnight.
You know, I'm not the biggest fan of, like, New Year's holiday. Like, it's New Year's Day, right? I get it's a national holiday, but for me, I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't know. It's like nothing. I don't know. I don't really care for New Year's, I guess.
Yeah, it's like we just did a full rotation around the sun and just get drunk.
I know. Like, I just kind of partied a lot during Christmas, so I'm kind of over it.
Yeah, Christmas was pretty mellow, too, for me. We just hung out at our parents' house, and then...
Good time.
Just went home and opened... Me and my daughter, we opened our presents on Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas Day, we just kind of slept in and then did whatever we wanted.
It's kind of nice because she's a little older, obviously. She's a teenager now, so
yeah,
it probably makes it actually she's not like all giddy to wake up in the morning like we used to be as kids.
Right. And so waking up early and all that, it was just, we don't need to. Let's just open it tonight. Plus, I didn't even have anything really to open for myself because I bought everything for myself on Black Friday. So
you opened it.
I was already using it by then. I got like the Ninja Foodie and new Ninja Blender. They're both so badass.
That's cool.
And what else? I just got myself...
Because you're a ninja.
I am a ninja. And then, I got myself a new tattoo by Fred Frost.
Still in work?
Yep, still got a couple more sessions in, but I did 2 sessions over the holidays.
So getting your sleeve done.
Yep.
In fact, Fred Frost will be coming up on my podcast, the DVO Show, soon. Dale and Fred were on it, and we recorded while Dale was getting worked on. So
yeah, we did.
That'll be fun. That'll be a couple weeks that'll be coming out.
Well, worked on me for a little bit in the beginning of the podcast. He had to stop so we could have a conversation.
We were having fun though. That's what's really
fun
on it. No, that's cool. It looks good. I like it.
Thanks. Yeah, so this is the dragon mask that they... it's really popular in the souvenir shops. So if you go to the Philippines, you see this big mask. This is one version of the dragon mask. It's in this old Ifugao... their beliefs with this dragon, and I guess it kind of derives from a lot of different cultures, and it kind of melted in this area of the Philippines, and they have their own story from it, but it all kind of picked from different places, all these different folklore stories. But anyways, it's about this this dragon that comes in and eats the moons, and in the story there were 7 moons in the sky, and there's 1 left because this dragon ate 6 of them.
Gee, what a pig.
I know, what a pig-ass dragon eating all the damn moons. So anyways, whenever there's like an eclipse, they would freak out thinking that this dragon was going to be eating the moon. So they would try to scare the dragon away with these masks that they would carve, and then they would throw spears in the sky and try to scare this dragon. Yeah, don't you eat our moon, you damn dragon.
We need that. Go on, get,
dragon.
That'd be cool. How many more sessions you got left? 1 more session?
Probably got 1 more session left on here for sure, and then when I do that, I'll get started on the food dog I'm going to be doing on the other side of it, and that's going to be Stitch, the food dog version of Stitch. That's going to be dope.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, check out Fred Frost Designs, Fred Frost, Frost City. This is shop in Midvale here in Utah. Really popular with Polynesian tribal tattoos. Done a lot of musicians and football players.
Right.
But yeah, I got that going on over the holidays. What about you?
It was good. You spend time with the family. I like that. I like to keep it mellow. Took some time off business and just kind of keep it mellow. I like that. We tried to hit some movies. It was very difficult. We need to learn our lesson and buy them like a week in advance, our tickets, because it just is sold out.
Oh yeah, it does.
So we have to learn our lesson. second year in a row. We're gonna get tickets early.
You know what though, this holiday season, being the first season in a very long time being single, it was very, very relaxing.
Okay.
It was very relaxing. Very mellow.
Very filled with tears.
No, none of that at all. No.
I was just kidding.
I was kind of pissed in the beginning, but that was it.
Okay, well, I'm sorry to surprise you with this at the last minute, but last year we kind of ended the new year with some of our favorites of the previous year, so 2019. Did you have like a favorite movie this year, of 2019?
Oh, damn, there was a lot of good ones that came out. I want to say...
The Avengers came out in 2019?
Yeah.
Because that'd be my vote, the end of the Avengers, Infinity War.
Yes, the last one. That movie, along with Joker, was also really good.
Oh yeah, so you really did like Joker.
Yeah. What else was good? I can't think of another good one off the top of my head. But I think action-pack wise and excitement for movie, I think, yeah, Marvel took it.
That was good. How about favorite podcast of 2019?
I did not listen to a lot of podcasts this year, but one new one I did start listening to was called Scared to Death.
Okay, what is that about?
It's this comedian and his wife, and he tells like 2 stories and tries to freak her out.
Okay, all right.
And he'll get the stories from either like a known scary story that's happened in the past, and then it's either a user submission, I don't know, but he'll tell two scary stories and try to freak her out, and then like they're bantering during it and everything. It's pretty funny. It's entertaining for sure. My buddy Chris Perea, he's the one that told me about that one.
Interesting. My favorite would probably be it's a brand new one. Tony Gonzalez, Hall of Famer for the NFL. He started a podcast called Wide Open. He's had some great guests on there. And it's called Wide Open, obviously.
Because he's a wide receiver,
right? Well, tight end. He's a tight end. But yeah, he's a receiver. But also, he's trying to. It's more of a self-improvement. Like, what are you wide open to learning and improving on? And he's had some great guests come on. One of my favorite episodes, if you do want to check it out, is with Danny Trejo. And so that was really good. That was really. I was into it. I was really into it. Danny's story and.
I've heard his story plenty of times.
Yeah, but but he's got some really good stories, and so I like it. Like, he tells some stories of on the streets and some of the things they did. So
nice.
It was good. So that's probably one of my. I didn't listen to very much music in 2019, so I don't really have a favorite song. I don't know if you do.
No, not that. You know what? Let me think. Was there anything new that came out? I don't remember if Miguel's CD came out. No, maybe it wasn't this year. Maybe it was the year before last. Oh well. Nope, nothing new.
All right, cool.
We're kind of out of it this year.
All right, so let's get into some topics. We got some fun topics. And the first one is a recent, very, very recent. The Golden Globes were over this past weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And Ricky Gervais hosted. And I couldn't tell if he was being sarcastic, funny, or serious.
I think it was a mix of all of it.
I think it was. I think he was kind of winging a lot of it too.
I think he was like fed up with Hollywood's bullshit.
I thought it was great. Because he kept saying, hey, it's jokes, and hey, this is my last time, so I don't care. This is my last time hosting. It's my 5th and last time hosting, so I don't care. I know they bleeped out a couple of cuss words he dropped on him. So.
Yeah, he was throwing some F-bombs out there.
But my favorite thing was when he kind of the end, he says, hey, if you win, come pick up your little award and give your thanks. No one wants to hear your political agenda or what you believe.
Yeah, he was
just
like
get off.
Giving it to him, just saying, you are so disconnected from the real world. Your opinion don't mean shit to everybody else.
In a sense, he's right, and I kind of agree. And it's funny because most of what people are saying they're so glad he said that.
Yeah, they were all just like, he's right.
Yeah, I was listening to a little bit of cut from Joe Rogan's podcast, and they talked about it, and he made a joke about Apple's getting into the streaming service, and some joke about sweatshops, and they cut to the current CEO, Tim Cook. I don't know what his title is exactly, but Tim Cook. They cut to him. He just kind of staring, and he didn't like smile or grimace or anything. I think he just was like, yeah, whatever. Taking it with a grain of salt, I'm sure. You see Tom Hanks make some faces, though.
Because he's just like, oh, man.
Yeah. But I couldn't tell if he felt offended or if he was like, oh, man, he's really laying into some of these people.
I think he was more just like cringing for the people there that he was
Offending?
talking about. Yeah.
Because I like Tom Hanks. I think
Tom Hanks is pretty cool. And he's pretty neutral about everything. He stays out of politics. He's just making movies and having kids that are making movies.
Yeah. So that was my favorite part of the whole thing. Was he just was like, no one wants to hear, because he's right. Most of them are out of touch with what's happening in reality. They're in their world, and they, I think they are out of touch with a lot of things.
I think he was really talking towards like Robert De Niro.
Oh,
remember Robert De Niro doing that? Kind of going off on Trump. Yeah. And so I wonder if that he was.
I think it was a lot of. I didn't think it was just him. I think it was a lot of the people.
There was a couple others too that.
Because Robert De Niro was sitting next to Martin Scorsese, and he made a joke about Martin Scorsese, like he couldn't go on rides or something like that because he's so short. and they were laughing, and Martin he was a good sport about it. It was funny. I do think he was winging a lot of it. Whoops. I think he was winging a lot of it because I think he had maybe something he wanted to say, and then he just kind of felt compelled to say a couple other things with it.
Yeah, I think that's where like when you would start cussing, that's where those would come from.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I didn't watch the whole Golden Globes because I don't know who the hell watches that.
Who watches it?
It seems so boring.
I think maybe just a lot of like people into
film.
Yeah, maybe just them. I like movies, but I'm not going to watch them get awards.
I'm not going to watch an award show. No way. That sounds. I don't. Yeah, because I actually don't really care. Oh, because I think he said, "Let's make this fast because already this is already 3 hours." Like that. Yeah, it was great. I don't know who watches. I couldn't watch that stuff. Award shows, I'm like, no thanks. ESPYs, I know my friends who got into ESPYs. One year we were gonna go watch it and have some pizza or something. I was watching the ESPY awards one year. I'm like, this I don't know, this doesn't appeal to me one bit. So I don't care.
Yeah, I don't watch any of
Anyway, I thought that was hilarious. I was kind of like, even like, because I was seeing a lot of tweets about it, and so I kind of watched the YouTube clip of it later from NBC, and I was kind of like, whoa! I think I was like making faces like, oh man, he's really laying into it.
Well, what's funny is a lot of the people were like, there's been memes going out there right after that.
Oh, I haven't seen it. Okay.
So the memes were like pictures of Ricky Gervais.
Okay.
And they're like, let's all just start this now. What was it? It was kind of like, the whole Epstein didn't commit suicide. He even said that too in this long
no one believes he killed himself.
Well, people started kind of going off of that and posting pictures of Ricky Gervais saying R.I.P. Just throwing this out there now that he did not commit suicide.
Oh, funny. That's funny. All right. Anything you want to say about that? Any part you liked or enjoyed about Ricky Gervais's?
No, this one I said that was pretty good though. That was funny how he just kind of laid into everybody.
Yeah,
everybody got it.
I liked it, and it seemed like I did see some highlights though, and it seemed like people kept their speeches pretty short. So
they probably were like, anybody that was gonna say something would probably stop them.
That'd be funny.
Hell yeah,
funny too. Okay, so let's keep talking about some movies and shows because we do love watching movies and shows. And so one of the latest things that dropped, we just talked about Apple will have their streaming service, and there's and Disney Plus just came out too. Oh, funny thing, because Ricky Gervais was mentioning all these streaming services.
About ISIS?
Well, no, he mentioned it's like, so just give everything to Netflix with their original content. That's right, he did mention if ISIS started when people would
say calling their agents.
They were calling their agents pitch ideas, but which is funny. Anyway, The Mandalorian we finished watching.
Yeah.
I liked how this one, they didn't drop the entire season, like, because it was 80 episodes, right?
So it's kind of like what Hulu does. Hulu already has that I didn't know format where they release an episode a week.
Well, same company, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe they just kind of bounced off of what their ideas already were.
Was it a week, though? Because I feel like sometimes they were like 2 in a week, but I could be off, I don't know.
Probably just because you were just catching it a day after.
Could be, yeah, you're right, you could be.
So... But yeah, just exactly how Hulu does it. I like that too. But at the same time, I like being able to just binge everything. Like,
right.
That's also nice. When you have a whole day to do nothing.
Yeah.
Where I can watch the whole season right now, or
yeah.
you know.
From a marketing standpoint, I get it. They want to keep you on the hook, right, for the next one. So, but the nice thing is there's no commercials. So
True, very true. And I've really been digging The Mandalorian.
It's very cool. Yeah, it's very cool. There's Baby Yoda. Everyone, if you've been living under a rock, you haven't noticed there's a Baby Yoda in here. It's actually not Yoda. If you haven't watched it, and you're wondering. It's actually not like it's not like a earlier prequel to the whole
another one.
It's just another of his species. Obviously, it's the same species as Yoda, and since the species does not have a name, they've just been calling it Baby Yoda.
Right, and this baby doesn't even have a name in the show.
No.
They just say...
And it's a baby and it's 50 years old.
Yeah, it's 50 years old, it's a baby.
Super cute, though. Super cute.
And this, there's a bounty on it. You don't really even know why there's a bounty on it.
No, it never tells you.
But this Baby Yoda has the Force.
Right.
And so it knows how to use the Force already at 50 years old being a baby. Which I'm kind of... I understand these age differently, but the only thing that kind of threw me off was just how much Yoda aged in the last from when Anakin Skywalker was young and Yoda was spry, and then when Luke Skywalker's in the picture, it's not that much time has gone by, but all of a sudden Yoda's very, very aged.
Right.
Like, he needs to get piggybacked everywhere. So that part kind of threw me off with, okay, I understand, this baby, they age very slowly, but then how come Yoda, significantly aged? I just find these damn holes in movies and it tears me up inside.
Well, maybe it's just that's how they are. They age slowly, then once they get to a certain peak, it just deteriorate quick.
Yeah, maybe the last 50 years they just
disappear.
Yep.
Like Yoda.
But it makes me wonder though, is the species, every one of the species all have the Force? Or did they produce asexually? Maybe this is just a clone of Yoda?
That's a rumor that it could be.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that.
That it is a rumor.
I haven't heard that yet, but I they wear the same clothes.
Right, yes.
He has the same ears. He looks just like him.
It is very interesting. So yeah, that is a rumor that it possibly could be some type of clone or maybe last of the species. I don't know. Maybe that's why there's a bounty on it. Kind of hard to tell.
At first, the one guy that the Mandalorian was going to for the bounties, I thought that was Lando at first.
Yeah.
I thought that was Billy D. Williams for a second. I thought that was Lando, and the Mandalorian, his name was Mando.
Yes.
So that group of people, their guild, they're called Mandalorians, right?
Uh-huh.
It just seemed very lazy that they named him Mando, short for Mandalorian.
No, I don't think that's his name. I think this is what he goes by. Like, that's a nickname they see him. They don't. He's a Mandalorian, so they just call him Mando. They probably call other Mandalorians Mando as well.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's more of a nickname.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was his actual name. I thought that's what they were calling him. Like,
just like for you, for example, when you see Black Guy, you always say, "Hey." Just kidding.
Nobody does that.
See, I don't think it's his real name. It's just what they call every Mandalorian. So it's like like you said, it's like a guild. It's not like it's like people, but they're like they have like a code of conduct. There's like they always have to wear their helmets and stuff like that. Supposedly.
But then he takes it off. Did you see that
privacy?
Part? Right, but they're not even supposed to do that.
No one can see them with their helmets off.
Oh.
Because when someone sees you with your helmet off, you have to leave it off. But yeah, they have to sleep and eat and stuff, so yeah, they take it off.
That sucks. You have to eat and where no one can see you.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, it was 8 episodes. It finished up, and I'm sure there's going to be a season 2 eventually, and I can't wait.
Oh yeah, of course there's going to be a season 2.
Yep, I can't wait. And we kind of roll on that. Rise of the Skywalkers came out, and that's supposedly the end of another trilogy. So this would be essentially episode 9. This Rise of Skywalker. I haven't seen it, but you have, Dale.
I did see it, and I want to talk more about it, but I don't want to spoil it for you.
I know, I haven't seen it yet.
It was good.
And it is newer, so maybe a lot of people haven't seen it. But.
It was good, though. But I would say the ending of it was a little... I would have liked to seen a different ending.
Okay.
I don't know, they can't really change it now that it's already done.
No.
But, I mean, they still can go on. They don't have to end it here. I mean, they can still definitely keep
it going. So,
but yeah, I did like it. and there was like some cool twists in there, and but I would have liked to have seen a different ending. But I did see something funny, like I want to talk about this too, and I don't want to spoil it, but it has to do with Batman and Ray.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Now, with Carrie Fisher being passed, she's passed. Would it look too CGI, her character? What do you think?
No, I think that was actually her. And
okay.
I think that she passed away during the filming of it, and the way that they did have her die.
So, okay, I wanted to just film a lot of it at once then.
I think they did.
Okay.
And then when they did the scene of her dying, because of course she dies in this one, but I felt like it was rushed, and that it was like sudden, and that it shouldn't have happened that way, and they just did it that way anyways. Mm-hmm. It was very strange to me. I don't know.
And then it was just the circumstances they had to deal with. Like we gotta.
Yeah, probably. But it felt a little weird the way she passed away.
Okay.
But yeah, she dies in it.
So thumbs up, thumbs down.
Oh, it's definitely a thumbs up.
I've heard mixed reviews. That's why I'm asking. I heard a lot of people start off by saying it was good, and then some people start saying it was bad. So, all right, I'm glad to hear that you liked it.
It was good. I liked it. And it was very entertaining. There were some things I would have liked to have seen different about it. So, yeah, but for the most part, for entertainment value, it was good.
Okay. All right, awesome. And then we randomly went with your daughter and watched a movie.
Oh, before that, let's talk about, we saw Jumanji.
Well, that's right. We did see Jumanji. Wait, when did we see that?
That was...
Day after Christmas? Is that what it was?
No, I think it was... Yeah, it was sometime after Christmas.
That was New Year's. We did see that New Year's.
Yeah.
It was New
Year's.
It was
recently. Just
the other day. New Year's Day.
Okay.
We went... I got tickets for us early. That's what it was.
Yep.
We did see Jumanji Part 2, The Next Level. Hilarious.
Yeah, so you know what? Oh, maybe because I'm not watching a lot of TV, but I didn't see any advertisements much for Jumanji 2.
I did, just because I think I watch a lot of YouTube.
Oh, I didn't see shit for it. But anyways, I did hear kind of like, it's like one long continuation from the first one, but it was still just as funny.
Yeah, when they go around do their publicity, like Kevin Hart and The Rock, and what's his name? Jack. Gosh, what's his name?
Sparrow.
Jack Black. When they go around, gosh, what's it called? When they do their publicity, I don't know. That pulls up a lot of my suggestions in YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And so I would watch some of their interviews, and I gotta tell you this funny one. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
So they're being interviewed by British press, I believe, and she made a good comment. She goes, "Okay, let's just say all you guys are your superhero characters. So, for example, The Rock, you're Black Adam. I can't remember the redhead girl, but you're Nebula.
Yes,
from
Nebula.
And then Jack Black is Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
And so then he goes, who would Kevin Hart be? And The Rock says, Honky Pete.
From where?
He just made it up because Black Adam.
Oh, okay.
Honky Pete. and Kevin Hart's just busting up. And they're like, what would be a superpower be? And Kevin Hart goes, Honky Pete has pockets. Superhero outfits don't have pockets. What's in his pockets? Gum, change, bus passes. It was hilarious. I think they should have. Someone made a picture, put it up. Black Adam and Honky Pete.
No, I never heard that. That has usually some funny stuff like that pops up on my Facebook feed or something.
Yeah, I watch a lot of videos of The Rock and Kevin Hart and their interviews, and actually Kevin Hart is actually pretty motivational. He has some pretty good motivational speeches.
I started watching. He has a kind of a docu-series on Netflix.
Oh, I heard it just came out.
Yeah, it just came out. I just kind of started that, and kind of like it's going over the whole. Right now, where I'm at on this thing is where they're talking about the whole situation with his wife finding about him cheating on her and stuff.
Oh, snap.
And like all the drama going down with that.
Oh, snap.
Even though it's old news, it's new on Netflix.
Yeah. But anyway, Jumanji. Go back to Jumanji, or as the British would say, Jumanji is how they say it.
They were calling it Jumanji.
They call it Jumanji. But anyway, Danny DeVito and Donald Glover.
They were hilarious.
So good.
And then even Jack Black, the way he was being his character was too funny.
It's so good. These guys are good, you know. And that actually talks about their acting because they're basically not playing a character; they're playing a character. You know what I mean? You know. So
you know what? One thing I didn't. Okay, so in this one, they're not the same characters. When the first one and they kind of went into the video game, their characters. This one, they're mixed up. And they're not the same.
Like Danny DeVito becomes The Rock.
Yes, so The Rock is kind of talking like Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
And it was throwing me off because I wasn't sure what kind of voice he was doing at first.
Okay.
And the voice was sounding...
Sexy voice.
Yeah, but it wasn't sounding like that. It was almost sounding British. But like...
Oh, you thought so?
It sounded a little British more
than...
than
like an East Coast accent?
Yeah, it was trying to do like a New Yorker type of...
Yeah, like Danny DeVito.
Yeah. So, he was trying to do that and it didn't sound right. But then Awkwafina, the comedian, she's in here, and she does where like Danny DeVito's her character, like she's Danny DeVito now or whatever.
Right.
But when she plays Danny DeVito, she does more of like an old man voice, and she even does like this little hunch walk.
Okay.
Like she like overacts it.
Okay.
Where The Rock's just like he's not overacting it, he's just trying to do the voice. Where she comes in and then she's like doing the whole hunch thing and acting all old and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't like how they were like playing the same person but doing it differently. I know, I am. I always do that. I know it's just
isn't real, okay?
But if it was real, I would be pissed off at how the whole physics work here.
Okay.
Damn it. Okay, fine. But another movie we watched though. Are we done with Jumanji?
Oh yeah, well yeah, it was good. I was just saying, I liked it. It was great.
It was hilarious.
It was a good continuation from the first one, but also the second one, right? You following with me? Okay.
I liked how they changed the characters up, and they added a couple new characters, and I thought it was still just as hilarious as the first one.
Thumbs up.
Yep. I don't think it copycatted anything from the first. It just made it even funnier.
Yeah, it was good.
So I thought it was great.
But yeah, I'm done with that.
But another movie we watched was Jojo Rabbit.
Random, right?
Random as shit, because I would have never cared to watch it. We were going to see Knives Out.
Yeah, well, I don't know why we wanted to watch the movie. I think we just had like a lot of free time for once. We're like, hey, we finally got some free time. Let's like relax and watch a movie. I think that's what happened. Yeah. But What's Out? There was like a random spur of the moment. What's Out? There was two movies we wanted to comedy. It felt like. So we were leaning towards Knives Out or this Jojo Rabbit. Actually, I was leaning towards Knives Out. You mentioned Jojo Rabbit. I was like, what? Watched the trailer. Like, I'm interested.
Yeah, it's a World War II.
Because who they have in it? Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson's in it. I don't know the names of these other actors, but they're popular actors. You see them all the time. But yeah, they're all playing German during World War II in Germany. Some of them are Nazis. Some of them are trying to help the Jews. And then you have this kid Jojo, who it's all about, who's a Hitler fanatic.
Yes,
he's a fanatic, and it is crazy.
You don't catch it at the beginning because you see him with Hitler at the very beginning of the show.
Yeah, no.
But it's his imagination.
Yeah.
And this guy who does his impressions of Hitler is so good. You gotta remember, this is Jojo. They call him Rabbit because he runs away a lot from like. Well, he wants to be a Nazi. He wants to be a Nazi. He wants to train like a Nazi. But when they tell him to do something like kill a rabbit, he runs away. Right? And they're like, "Hey, Rabbit." So, and that's his nickname, and I was not expecting this much comedy in it. I was not expecting that.
Right. I mean, right from the get-go, you have this imaginary Adolf Hitler in this kid's imagination in his bedroom, telling him how to be the perfect Nazi and everything. Yeah. And he's like motivational and everything.
Yeah, he is.
And he's like getting himself all pumped up to go for the day, and he runs out the door, Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler. He's doing that to everybody.
I'm gonna look who actors are. Rebel Wilson's in it.
Oh yeah, Rebel Wilson's in it. Yeah, she's funny as hell.
And they come up with like Jews, right? Like how they eat you. Or
like all these fake things to scare kids. Like
about Jews.
They'll eat your feet in your sleep or something stupid like that. Make them think that they're these monsters when they're just normal people.
And another guy, he's so good.
That one, the actor that was in the...
Sam Rockwell, yes, Sam Rockwell. he plays like a leader of the Nazis, but he's training the boot camp of kids for the next generation.
Because he was kicked out for something he did.
You know, he got hurt, like he got like a scratch, or I don't know. So he's like mad about it, but now he's a drunk.
And then Theon Greyjoy. Whoever played Theon Greyjoy.
Alfie.
Yeah.
Alfie Allen. He's like his assistant, but he's odd. He's very odd.
But you find out they're lovers.
Yeah, they're like gay. But because Nazis don't like gays.
Yeah,
so
they have to hide it.
They have to hide it. It's so good. And like these kids are into battle.
Yeah, it's 10 years. His Jojo Rabbit's best friend is like 10 years old, and he becomes a Nazi, and he's running around with guns.
And there's a friend in the house that's they're hiding. They're actually, he doesn't know, but his mom, Scarlett Johansson, is hiding Jews, and he finds out, and he tells his friend, I just found this out about the Jews. They're actually not that bad. And his little friend, who's a Nazi, and I was like, yeah, I don't see why they would be that bad. It's so good.
It's such a good movie that was
good.
Very unexpected. Like, this is still not even getting like the publicity that it deserves.
No, it really doesn't.
Like, it was good. It was. And Scarlett Johansson, she was playing. I mean, she's working on her accents. I mean, she's gonna be doing a Russian accent, I guess, for Black Widow.
She's German for this one.
But I thought she did a really good job in here, and she's helping Jews, but then he gets woken up to the realization of what Nazis are really like, and the fanatic that he is, and like it's all kind of rushing in, and at the end he's just kind of weighing it all out, like what the hell's really going on?
Yeah, it's good, guys. This is like a major recommendation. I did not expect this. When you recommended it, brother, I was not. I just thought, okay, it looks like there's gonna be some funny things in here. We were laughing out loud in the theater.
And then there was parts that would make you cry.
There are parts that make you tear up, that's
because
for sure.
It does touch on the realization of what really happened in World War II. So, like some of the things that you see and that happened to, like, really close to the storyline, you're just like, damn.
Yeah, we just dropped some big names, and that might be... Oh, Stephen Merchant. He's also one of the leaders of the Nazi groups.
Oh, yeah.
Really tall.
Yeah, I forgot about
lanky guy. Who else? Yeah, so some big names in it. You'll recognize, when you watch it, you'll recognize, like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but this definitely deserves more recognition than it got.
It really did. So, big ups, big recommendations for Jojo Rabbit.
And then last thing I watched that just recently that really opened my eyes up was The Game Changer on Netflix. That documentary was pretty legit.
I haven't seen it yet. You're telling me that.
It really it just kind of bases everything off of this MMA fighter from England. He's trying to recover from this injury, and so he wants to find out the best way to recover, the best kind of diet to get back in, because he had to take a 6-month hiatus so he can recover. So during this, he did a full-on search of best diets, like what people, the recovery time and what to eat for certain things. Then he started stumbling across these studies, and first found these studies on these gladiators back in ancient Rome and their diets and how big they were and how much they had to like fight and rebuild and recover, and they were completely vegetarian.
Okay.
So he started looking into more of that, and then started finding more studies on it and everything. Started realizing that the only reason why we eat as much meat as we do now is because of marketing. And they've been pushing meat on us that we need it for protein and nutrients, when that's never been the case up until that point.
What's for dinner?
That's exactly what they were doing. That type of, and then that you got to be a man to eat meat, man eat meat,
Right.
So they had this whole thing about that and getting your proteins from meat, and it needed to be from meat. Well, they during these studies, they're showing performance levels and people's peak performances, and then switching to a new diet of just plant-based products and surpassing their goals by way more than they expected.
Interesting.
And some people were even getting stronger and bigger after they stopped eating meat. And then some athletes were, being in the age of 30 plus and even 40 plus, were going into the Olympics, which they weren't qualifying in their younger ages. All of a sudden they switched their diets up. Now they're outperforming these youngsters, and they're reaching the Olympics. And then you have some bodybuilders that are like the strongest man in the world, and even Arnold switched his his diet up after some studies.
Interesting.
But they were even going into full detail onto men's libido and their erections during their sleep after eating meat and eating plants. So like they tested one night after eating a meat-based dinner, then testing again the next day after eating a plant-based dinner, and like it was, I think on one of the studies was like a 300% increase, but all of them were increased by eating plant-based compared to eating meat.
Okay.
And then even showing your blood, they even showed you your blood plasma after eating meat and after eating plant-based. And after plant-based, your blood is clear. After any kind of meat, whether it's chicken, fish, or whatever, it's always has the meat fats floating around in your blood. And so all those meat fats going through your blood, eventually clog it and create the plaque through your arteries and everything. That's how they get there, is through the meat fats. And so you're clogging your arteries every time you're eating meat, not knowing it. And with eating meat with every meal, that's what your blood is looking like constantly.
Okay.
So they're showing these, and I mean, the results were astounding. Like, it really made me switch up. So I've already switched up some things. I haven't taken meat out of my diet completely.
Do you think you ever will?
I don't know, because I like certain things, and I don't think it's necessary to take it out of your diet completely. I'll still be eating it. Right now, I'm eating it like at night and on the weekends for sure. But I don't know, maybe I'll take it out completely if I start feeling better, if I start feeling a certain way with not eating meats. But as of right now, 2 days into it, today I'm definitely feeling a lot more energy this morning.
Interesting.
And I'm not taking any supplements either.
Interesting. I actually stopped taking supplements a while ago.
Me too. That's because I stopped going to the gym too.
I just was like, do I really need to enhance all this extra stuff, like all these powders? And so for me, I actually took out a lot of that stuff. Because I tried to take as much more natural stuff in. I don't do the best. I'll have soda probably more than I should lately.
That's been my problem too. So I need to start eliminating processed sugars too.
Yeah. I don't know where it came from. I think just being on the road so much.
It sounds good sometimes. Right now it sounds good. Tall soda sounds so good right now. I go through phases, and I'll just where I won't even touch soda for like months. I think I do the same.
Yeah, then I'll go through a phase where I have to have one every day. Weird. Maybe it's because you have that one, like, oh shit, that was really good.
Like,
I'm
gonna have another one.
I'm gonna do that
again.
Sweet nectar. So, but my wife will sometimes make like a chicken soup, and all of a sudden I'm just like, I don't really want the chicken, because she'll put like a whole drumstick in it. I'm like, I just want all the veggies and rice and stuff like that. So I used to think the same way, right? Like, oh, that's like rabbit food. Like, I'm a man. Give me steak and ribs.
Yep.
And now,
that was a marketing thing. That was all like, I felt after watching this, I felt completely like, yes. I felt lied to, that we needed meat and you had to eat meat.
Right.
And so, you have all these factories trying to produce all these chickens and cows and pigs and everything, which are just doing damage to the environment.
Sure.
But on top of that, it's unnecessary. Completely unnecessary if you come to find out. It's like, damn, all because of marketing.
Yeah.
Eating meat's completely fine. It's just the amount that we eat is unnecessary. And you can actually get way more protein than you actually need just from plant-based foods. And when it comes to the carbs,
lentils have a lot.
Yeah, you don't have to count carbs when you're eating plant-based foods. Right. Because all those carbs are unprocessed, and a lot of the sugars are all natural sugars too. So you don't have to constantly watch what you're eating or balance everything every time, because shit, you're eating right. It's gonna do it for you.
Yeah, I just listened to a podcast too, and they're big on keto. The guests that they have on this podcast, and basically keto is short for ketosis, right? And so I really didn't understand what it was. I've heard it. I've been to the whole fitness game. Me and you both for many years. We've seen fads come and go. I start hearing about something else, I ignore it actually. I'm like, another fad. My wife started asking me questions about it, and I said, I'll tell you what. We don't need to do a keto diet.
No, we don't.
Why don't you research keto, find things you like about it. If it makes sense to your head, then implement that part of it. Like implement a recipe or something like that. Well, anyway, I'm listening to this podcast. I had no idea what it was, to be honest with you, and until I heard this podcast. And I guess what they were doing, I did hear this that it's intaking a lot of fats, right? The keto diet. But basically, and when they said this, it made sense because I've always known this. What you're doing is you're training your body to then burn the fats. So that's why that's why they're consuming a lot of fats, because that's what your body is then burning is the fat. So like,
there's other ways to do this.
Sure, there's other ways, but part of that makes sense, and so that's why I'm like, okay, I get it. Healthy fats, yogurts, avocados, eggs, some of these like healthy things with fats might be a good thing to introduce, but I don't need to do like a whole keto type thing.
No.
But I can introduce these things into my diet where my body will start burning some of that stuff.
All you have to do is be consistent with, like, if you were to change your diet and not say do keto, but say you're going to do a plant-based diet, okay? You're going to switch up your diet. It's going to change your body. Your body will change and it will adjust. And you as long as you stay consistent, your body will change. And it'll do what you want it to do. And then when it plateaus, you need to change things up again. You don't have to be doing keto to do that. Some people should stay away from keto because it's like probably going to give them a heart attack.
Interesting.
Just because of the high amount of fatty meats that they have you eat. So they have you eat a lot of fat, they have you eat a lot of meat, and then they have you eat a lot of vegetables.
Okay.
If you just did the vegetables and you did, you could do it however you want. You don't have to follow their regimen. Right. Your body will go into keto as long as you stay consistent. That's the whole basis of how to go into keto. Because that's what they tell you.
You have to stick with it for like 2 to 3 months to really go.
I've done my own diets, my own ways, and they've all worked because it was consistency.
Me too. Yep.
As long as I stayed consistent and I did exactly how I planned it out and I stayed on it, I lost 25 pounds in 1 month once doing that.
I've been pretty similar. It was about consuming or burning more calories than I consumed. Eating right. Obviously not drinking a lot of soda and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's just it's all about consistency and being on top of yourself doing it.
But going back to this Game Changer movie and the plant-based diet, I haven't for a few years now. I haven't felt like I need to consume meat for my protein.
Yeah, now after seeing that, like, it really changed up a lot of things. Because I would go out of my way to make sure I get something with meat.
Chicken,
or like
fish.
Because I needed the protein. But now it's like, I don't, it's just, damn it, I've been lied to. I don't need to do that. So yeah, I've been changing some things up here at home and kind of changing the way I've been eating a little bit as of right now. I do want to start hitting the gym and being consistent at the gym again. I've just been being such a lazy ass about it. So I need to get on myself about being there, and because the only one that's going to be accountable for it is me, and making myself accountable.
Well, and I haven't myself. I don't feel like I've been lazy about it. I just feel like I've been so busy. I haven't had time.
Well,
but this year I'm going to make time.
I know I can make time because I had to do it before. I mean, we don't go to our first time. I mean, the earliest we go like maybe 7 or 8 in the morning. I was starting work at my old job at 6 a.m. and I was still going to the gym before that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was at the gym at like 4 a.m. every day. So I know I can do it, and I can make the time if I need to. It's just getting my ass up and doing it. That's all it is.
Yes, that was interesting.
But yeah, definitely worth watching. You should watch it. I recommend that for everyone to watch, just based off of knowledge. Just based off of, we've been lied to, here's the truth. Do with it what you may.
Well, watch it and see if you feel like you've been lied to. Just because we or Dale or I said it doesn't mean that's true either. See what you think.
I mean, you can definitely live off of meat, no problem. It's just what it does to your body and all the diseases we've had now, and coming to find out a lot of things are happening to our bodies because of what we're doing to it based off our diets. I mean, we know that when it's all sugary based, but when people are looking healthy and everything, but their cholesterol is through the roof and they're still on the verge of diabetes, and they're like, what's wrong with me? I eat it, I work out here and there. It's because you're eating steaks every day.
All right, let's see. We got a couple more topics here. Next one is, we live, obviously, I don't know where you're listening from, but we live in Salt Lake Valley in Utah, and a few schools have adopted this, but I just read that in Harriman City, 2 schools have adopted the no homework concept of basically your kid's here with us for 8 hours. When they go home, they're done. And so, you know, being a parent and going to some parent-teacher conferences, and I would notice, you know, my daughter not always bringing home homework. I'm like, hey, what homework do you have today? I don't have any. Or, you know, meeting some of her teachers, and they say, you know, we try not to give any homework for afterwards. Like, they have a project, they have to get it done by a certain amount of time, and if they want to do it at home or here, then whatever. But some do give homework. I know college is big into giving homework. And funny enough, we just talked about, you know, Fred Frost doing your tattoo, and he's on my podcast coming up. We did talk about this a little bit. You know, he dropped out of college because he was like, I don't have time to go do stuff after school. Like, I got a life. I'm an adult, right? I don't got time to do homework.
A lot of people have to work to pay for college.
Yeah, I mean, I had a cash flow college. I never got student loans. I had a full-time job. I was a manager when I was going to college. I was a manager. So I was working 9 to 10 hours a day. And then I'd have school and have to do homework afterwards. I'd be up to like 3 in the morning because I worked night shift. Anyway, so a couple schools adopted this. And at first, you know, when my daughter would not come home with homework, I'd be like, when I was in school, you know, like, we didn't have buses. We had to walk to school. And you know, we'd do 8 hours. Because my daughter would come home and take naps sometimes. Like, I never took a nap when I got home from school. Like, I had homework. Like, I ate, watched a little bit of TV, started working on homework till dinner time. And now I'm kind of thinking about it, I'm like, I hated it though. So why do I want to push that on my kids? I hated it. I never saw the significance of spending 8 hours in school and then going home and do another 2 or 3 or 4 hours.
Exactly how it was, and it was the dumbest thing ever. So I tried to get out of homework as much as possible.
Me too. Like the teacher would be talking, I wasn't paying attention. I'm trying to finish this homework up. I'm not trying to take it home. I wasn't even paying attention. You know, or I would be like negotiating with friends. Hey, you do that assignment, I'll do that assignment, and then we'll swap. You know, we'll help each other out.
Exactly.
And so at first I was kind of against it because I grew up having homework, but now I'm like, it's stupid. Maybe I'm not the biggest fan of school. I don't know.
They should definitely have, like, so when my daughter was in middle school, they had a class at the end of the day. It was kind of like a homeroom where you could do your homework. And so you can get a lot of it done in school without having to do it at home.
Yeah, or if you were behind on assignments, you can catch up. Right?
And then now in high school, I mean, she's in AP classes now, and she's just like, there's just so much homework in these AP classes. Like, she's doing homework for hours. And I come and check on her, and she's got page after page, and it's all filled out. And, I mean, it's a ton of writing. It's a ton of work she's doing. And it sucks for a kid.
Yeah.
Like, you just spend all day long in school.
Right.
And now you're out of school. This is your time to be a kid. No.
Yeah.
You're going to just keep doing more school until the sun goes down.
But then, you know, they want you to do extracurricular activities for, like, scholarships, right? Like, were you a part of this club?
How do you find the time?
This activity, this event, right? Yeah, we're at times I got to finish my homework still.
Yeah, and then a lot of these kids, like, some of these kids that are doing these extracurricular stuff don't have time for their homework, you know, and they start failing their classes, and then they can't do their extracurricular stuff because they can't be a part of the team with failing grades. But they can't have passing grades because they're too busy doing extracurricular stuff.
I am definitely opposed to our school education system.
Yep.
I'm very vocal about it too. You know, if you listen to my podcast or if you come to any of my public speeches, I'm very vocal that I am against the education system. I'm not against education, just the system. Like, I want my doctor to spend 8 years in school. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with that. And I always say it, but my mechanic, don't care so much. As long as they know how to fix my car, don't care as much.
Well, I mean, if they could pass a mechanic test, then cool.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I'm totally against. So I at first, if I were to rewind a couple years ago and I would have heard this story, I'd been like, well, why? Because I want to relate to me. Maybe because it becomes like, well, that's not fair to me because I had homework. But now I'm looking like, yeah, like, I don't want my daughter to come home with homework. I want her to, like, go do activities. I want her to, like, she's into volleyball. I want her to go play volleyball or join a club.
And I think having degrees in the workforce for certain jobs are completely pointless. I think
for all three of my businesses, I don't need a degree. You know? Right.
Well, I mean, so in the old company we were working for at Dad, I applied for certain positions that were available that were, outside of what I was normally doing, but I had the skill set for it. And when I interviewed for it, I was passed over for someone else just because they had degrees. Yeah. And they're like, well, this person went to college and has degrees, so we're going to hire them over you. You would have been great for the job and all, but we want them because they actually went to school. But it had nothing to do with that position. They went to an arts college. They got art degrees.
Yeah.
What does your art history degree have anything to do with logistics?
Or management or people skills. Yeah.
So that really turned me off about how the workforce even is driven. It's just you only get positions if you went to college, but you don't have to know shit as long as you have a degree.
Right.
It can be for anything. It doesn't matter as long as you have that.
Well, it goes back to the finance field too, where they want your credit score to buy a house. Like me and my wife were refinancing, and they look at like, oh, but your wife doesn't have a credit score. I'm like, right, we don't have debt. We pay everything cash. Well, she needs a credit score. I'm like, no, she doesn't. You just have to not be lazy, and you have to do manual underwriting and not just go off a score. You just have to do some work here, guys. And they didn't like that answer, but I was right. I know how it works. And you can't be lazy. You got to do manual underwriting and underwrite. You can't just go look up a credit score. What does a credit score do?
Well, it's because the American dream is to get things you can't afford.
Right, yeah. That's what I told them. Look, the credit score, all it means is we're good at getting in debt and paying off our debt.
Yeah,
but really, the fact that we have zero credit score shows that we actually
are good with your money.
Are good with our money. And so they were like, they couldn't argue with me, and they had to manually underwrite it. Like, sorry, you got to do more work, guys, but stop being lazy. And that's what it was like in the workforce. Like,
well, they probably have never came across that.
We don't really want to. Yeah, that's true. But the same with the workforce. You're like, they're like, well, we're going to interview these candidates, but it just looks better to pick this person because they have a college degree. A little less work for us to do on the interview process.
No explaining to corporate why we hired.
Yeah, no, don't be lazy. Do your due diligence.
Well, I'm actually glad I never got that position because I'm better in my position now anyways.
Yeah,
I'm in such a better position.
Yeah, it's called ownership. It's much better. But yeah, so I like this idea.
So F homework and everything it does for you.
But don't forget, honor roll challenge, kids.
Yeah, stay on the honor roll, but F homework.
But yeah, don't F homework.
But I think we only did one... since our hiatus, we've only been on one residential investigation.
So you're talking about ghost investigation. I feel like we did two, but all I can think of is this one, though.
I've had opportunities to do more, but I've been too busy.
Did I?
No, you haven't, because you would have borrowed the stuff, and you hadn't borrowed it.
Possibly. Yeah, so we did Lehigh. Was it Lehigh?
Yes.
Yeah. So in Lehigh, we went to what is currently I don't know.
It's an assisted living.
Yeah, assisted living. I was like, I know there's a nice way to put this. I can't think of it right now.
Well, because we're both getting offers on our phones and we're making deals while we're recording. We're multitasking. SOBs is what we are.
That's true. So, yeah, it's an assisted living home, and they basically...
They've been having issues there.
Because it's been a few things. It's been apartments.
Oh yeah, I think it was a dance hall at one time.
Yes, it was.
And then it was a retirement home, and then now an assisted living home, which is essentially almost the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've had a lot of things going on there. Well, the employees, anyways, have talked about some things going on, and then so we went in and checked it out.
It's a pretty big facility.
It's a big place.
Was it 3 levels? And then we went.
Yeah, 3 levels.
3 levels, and then we went into a outside
basement.
Yeah, but they keep like the furnace. Like there's no like ground. Like it's like dirt floor, right? It's like, the furnace is there, and they had like this stuffing. They stuffed some tarp in this hole because some people have seen glowing eyes. From there, which it's hard to tell. Like
could be a raccoon.
Could have been a raccoon. it could have just been a reflection. I mean, I don't know.
They were probably just already scared, and then going in there see something, a reflection or something, and then.
I can tell you, I've had something like that happen to me. So this was happening. I think I was in high school. It was one of my jobs. I did like cleaning maintenance, and I was with another individual. And we were talking a little bit of ghost stories, and. The owner of the place had passed, but he had a secret bedroom in the building, and we were talking about these things. So I'm vacuuming, and I was wearing my glasses, and because it was kind of dark in there, so I was wearing my glasses and I was vacuuming, and there was these stairs to my left, and it was really dark up there, and I just looked, right? I looked up, and the light had shined on the temple of my glasses, and it made like a shine, and I freaked out. I thought I saw something on the top of the stairs. I looked up, saw the shine, I was like, whoa! I dropped the vacuum, I stepped aside, and I catch my breath, I'm like, oh, I just scared myself. Because I saw the light shine off my glasses. So, anyway, funny story. That happened a long time ago. But anyway, that's probably something like that, right? Like, it's in your head, right?
Yeah,
it's a spooky little basement area.
But no, that place definitely had spirits in there, though. It had spirits.
Yeah, it did.
But there were some areas where you walk through and you could definitely feel, I don't know, I could anyways, I could feel, I would have never really caught it if I just walked through it, but there was a couple mediums there with us, and they said, hey, Dale, what do you feel here when you walk through here? And I was telling them, I'm like, okay, well, pay attention. I walk through, I'll tell them where I'm feeling sensations and like the kind of sensations I'm feeling, but it was weird, it was off, and then one of them, he was actually a medium who had taught Brandy a lot of the stuff that she knows. He was there, and he was talking about there was a lot of bodies under the building. Like there's.
That's right.
He's like, yeah, this place is built on top of a lot of bodies.
Well, kind of in that basementy crawl space where the furnaces that we're talking about, like under, like probably where we were standing on, probably. There were Native American battles there.
Yeah, and then.
Or nearby.
We were getting in contact with this one spirit in this the theater room.
Yeah, so they have like a little. It's it's just a place where they can go watch movies. They have a little popcorn machine, a microwave, a couple big comforter seats that they can sit on and watch. What's it called?
The projector.
Projector, yeah, projector. So, we were sensing some things in there. We're getting some hits.
Yeah, they were getting some responses. They were kind of responding, and then they would like go away. So the spirit that I kept detecting would like leave.
Yeah.
It'd leave from that area. I'd find them. It was like attached to this recliner.
And I was snapping pictures. I'm gonna go look through my photos. I was snapping pictures, and there was one.
Keep
picture.
talking. I'm gonna grab the charger for the computer.
Let's see. So there was a couple. So I was taking some pictures in this movie theater room, and it was me, you, another investigator, and two of the nurses. What do you call them? Yes, they work there. I guess they're nurses. They were wearing scrubs, so for me that's a nurse. And so there was us in the room. In the picture. You see, Dill has one of the meters, and two of the nurses there, and I snap a picture, and the first picture is blurry, and you see a streak, right? So it makes you wonder: was it blurry because it was dark, and then it caused this streak, or was the camera trying to snap a picture? I'm taking a picture in the dark, right? No light whatsoever, pure darkness.
If it's focusing on whatever that is,
or is it focusing on that streak, and that's why the whole picture's blurry? I notice it right away. I snap another picture, clear, crystal clear, no problem.
And it was right after I started making communication with us.
Yeah, well, in the picture you see actually the meter going up in the picture. You actually forward the picture on to Brandy, and she verified there is something in that picture. Maybe we'll post both of them up. So yeah, we got here. We'll post up on our Buko Boys podcast.
Yeah, we should do that.
Social media.
That's been inactive for a little bit too, because of situations and holidays.
So it was interesting. We got some readings, and
one thing I do need to do is I need to get back into start doing some more energy work and meditating and everything. That one guy, his name is Gene. He's the one the medium that was that showed Brandy a lot. I guess what he had said to Brandy and Tim later was that because there's some other people on our team that also have some abilities that they're kind of working on and coming out. I guess after that event, he told Brandy and Tim that out of everyone on the team that he met there that night, that I was the only one that had the potential to do a lot with my abilities.
Nice.
I was like, oh, that's good to know.
What do I do?
Yeah, more mutant powers, the better.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, so interesting. I don't know anything else you have from that residential investigation.
It's been a while, so I forgot a lot of other things that had happened. We did some hiding from the residents there because we weren't the residents weren't supposed to know we were supposed to be we were going to be there that night. So the staff was keeping us hidden from them. So that was kind of fun.
Because otherwise they spark up conversation and tell us all these stories. But for me, I was kind of like, I kind of want to hear stories though. Like I don't.
Well, they might not have anything to do with anything.
Yeah, because they could ramble. They have the tendency.
Yep. So they were, and not only that, but they didn't want them to tattletale on them for having guests there that late and stuff.
Oh, true. Yeah, true.
But yeah, that's it for now. I mean, that's a good hour-long episode. We can save some more stuff for our next episode.
All right, guys. Thanks again for watching and listening to the Buko Boys podcast.
We love you, and thanks for waiting for us. We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.